Hello, hello. How we doing? Welcome, members. The Titans are 8-2. In pretty good shape. Saw some of you last night. I know you're excited after the win over the enemy Saints, who were not a very good football team yesterday. Titans weren't great either, but they got it done. Offense needs to find some footing, but quite frankly, they should be just fine next week against the rested Houston Texans. I know we said that about the Jets, but this is a different football team the Titans are right now than they were back against the Jets, much earlier part of the season. Way more battle tested and just way different. I can't see anything that would happen. And the Titans would not be at all who we think they are if they somehow found a way to lose to Houston at home. So I think we'll see 9-2. I think we'll see a tough trip to New England, 9-3, and then a long awaited, much needed bye week for them, and probably for you. So that's where we are. The Rams not doing a good job of recovering from what the Titans did to them. And that is bad news for the Rams. Some teams not looking as good as they were looking. Some teams on the upswing, including the Titans, continue to be on the upswing. Good teams find ways to win when the odds are against them, says Andrew Frill. Titans have been a good team for the last several years, but and they found the ways to win a lot of games, but not as many as they're finding to win now. Well, I disagree with this one a little bit, Jay. I mean, says for as many failures as J. Rob gets shit about, he should get more praise for finding all these contributors. Well, you don't need if I was going to use Bobby Hart as an example. You know, if you could draft a damn right tackle in 2 tries, then you don't need David Quessenberry to do a manageable job filling in. If you could get a cornerback who's got a chance to be healthy as opposed to Caleb Farley, and I understand the ACL is a freak accident, but the guy's got a bad history of health. If you could draft a first-round cornerback this year, second-round cornerback last year, stays on the field with some regularity, then you don't need Greg Maven and Chris Jackson, who, by the way, sucked yesterday but was good in LA, or this other cast of cornerbacks that I've written about lately to step in. So, yeah, on the one hand, Robinson gets credit for the depth. On the other hand, if you got better frontliners, you don't need the depth so much. Like giving him credit for Kendall Lamb, who comes in every time he comes in, either gets a flag or gets his ass kicked. No, I'm not. So, I mean, they've got good depth. They've got good functional depth. But I'm going to score that more for the coaches coaching up some guys who aren't really that great, particularly in the secondary. Receiver Marcus Johnson, I think, is pretty good. But, I mean, they're maxing out guys like Nick Westbrook Akina, who certainly are not second or third wide receivers. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a straight number here. A lot of people are just saying, for him to produce in the playoffs. I think it's pretty hard for him to just. Sorry. I think it's pretty hard for him just to do nothing until the playoffs and then have a big playoff game. Maybe not. but it seems a little naive to me that all of a sudden he's be a productive playoff player. And I think you need to build up before the playoffs some film that's going to tell people that he needs to draw some people away from AJ Brown or have some bearing on coverage, or he needs to be ready to take advantage of the weaker coverage that he gets. If I had word on Dupree, Andrew, I wouldn't be waiting for you to ask. Sorry, it's not how it works here. AJ was talking about stuff from a year ago, obviously serious business. Vrabel talked about it some today. We haven't talked to AJ since then. If it has a good effect on one person, it's a good thing. It's becoming more and more common for people in the limelight to talk about their mental health, things as serious as thoughts of suicide that AJ talked about. And so, I think it's a healthy thing. Hope other people in similar situations hear it and go to the right places to get help. It's fair to compare like to like, Ed. So comparing the Titans to other teams who haven't lost their quarterback and have a lot of injuries is completely fair. I mean, Long is one of the better players on the defense. If they're without Long for an extended period of time, that sucks. I would like to see Jayon and Long be the two starting guys and play most of the passing downs at least. Evans, I could live without. Monty Rice seems to be getting better, but still wouldn't be a first choice. But they drafted Rice a year ahead of technically needing him. So, they've got somebody they like there. Dupree certainly hope is not a long-term thing because he's coming on and necessary part of that front. Now, the replacement there, Denny, I'd like to see play there more and not worry about his special team stuff as much. And you could do worse. It's better than anybody else they've had, but yeah, it would be a big loss. Yeah. Don't worry about what Vrabel's bothered by, Chase. I don't know that they've been a team, Andrew, that's freaked out with their back against the wall in the past. I mean, I think it's been a Vrabel hallmark that they've not been particularly panicky. A Vrabel hallmark, a Tannehill hallmark. Now the defense, particularly last year, I don't know if panic is the word. Incapable would be the word that I would choose. But this is more talented, and that's the case. I didn't mean to have this border up here. I forgot to take it down. I was surprised Jackson played as much as he did. I mean, Molden's more the true nickel, or had become the true nickel. So I didn't feel like most of the times Jackson got beat, he was in a nickel position. Yeah, I don't get this question. The Titans haven't played tight. When's the last time the Titans played tight? I don't think the Titans play tight. Loose. I know you're a member, brother, but lose and loose. Yeah, you got it right here. Sorry. I think they always play pretty loose. I mean, I don't think they always play well, but I don't think the Titans playing tight has been a problem. I think certainly the more they win, the better they get at winning. But again, we're talking about them a little bit like they haven't won in the past. They won 11 games last year. And they went to the AFC Championship the year before. So they know how to win. I mean, these last 2 weeks have been against really good run defenses. I don't know how well they would have run with Derek, but there seems to be a tone among some fans, like, if they just get the balance right and go more with Foreman, who people prefer, who's better so far, that they're going to be okay. I mean, they're not going to run the ball anything like they used to run the ball. They might run it great against Houston because Houston sucks, but rebound to what? Rebound to Derrick Henry levels? No. David Long has a hamstring. We do not know how serious. Serious enough for him to miss the Saints game. What else is on your mind? I'm working on a big hamstring project. Yeah, first and foremost, Arthur, I'm watching the game on the field. Who's coming on the field? Who's coming off the field? Between plays, what's going on the bench? Tweeting, scores of other games, replays on the TV that's above us. Not talking to sources during the game. No differently. I honestly, I don't think that Vrabel coaches them any differently from being in the running for the 1 seed versus last season fighting for the division versus if they were a 4-win team. Number one thing that's happened to Firkser is everybody overrated Firkser and thought that Firkser was going to be something akin to Jonnu. Firkser can't get on the field because he doesn't block. You have to be on the field as a blocker to get chances to catch passes. I do not. There's a panel of 50 national-ish. Some of them are city beat people by the Associated Press. I know last year's panel, it'll be probably slightly adjusted from last year, but I don't have a vote. I voted one time when I was with the Oakland Tribune, I think. Bullock has been great, and punt returns have been pretty good with Chester Rogers. Kick returns have not been good. AJ came out of the blue tent really fast, so his concussion examination went fine, and went well enough for him to pass the concussion protocol. So I don't know what's up with him. Weird game. Didn't do well against top cornerbacks these last 2 games. Disappointing. I mean, I haven't sat down to look at Coach of the Year candidacies. Vrabel's got an excellent candidacy, but he won't win because it's usually somebody that brings his team out of nowhere. I think Belichick is, if I'm not mistaken, never won it, and he would actually be very deserving if they keep going the rate they're going right now, because Patriots are doing some great work. Adam Schefter has like 500 million Twitter followers or something. If you're an agent and you want to get the word out on something, who do you go to? I haven't heard complaints about Nissan Stadium ingress, so I presume it's taken care of. I mean, I'm in the stadium 2 hours before it starts through a media entrance, but I don't have problems driving in. Why, Robert? They've won 6 games in a row. So why do they need to put their best wide receiver, who they can't get going at wide receiver, in the backfield? They can't get going the last 2 weeks. All right. It's been a good 15 minutes plus. I don't think Vrabel intentionally took a delay of game in this game to push back a field goal. I don't think Tannehill's playing better than his stats. I think he's thrown too many picks. All right, don't block the box. Do lock the locks. Outkick 360 tomorrow, 2 to 5. Check it out. Spread the gospel. Spread the word. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate the loyalty. Hope you have a great night. Enjoy the rest of the game. Let's hope for a Rams comeback for entertainment purposes. Good to see you. Thanks.